So, how you guys doing today? Normally I would just say in the beginning, let's have a conversation, but that's obvious, right? Excuse me, I did not put on any Carmex or any lotion. I just cleaned my face, but I just darted right outside here because I was just so anxious to get out here and talk to you guys rather than inside my apartment, because I'm always inside my apartment since we been quarantined. Some days I just feel like how I'm feeling right now. I just want to get the hell out of there. This time it's just me by myself. I'm not with my kids. So I bought the book that Chris wrote for Selena, To Selena with Love. I bought this book roughly, and this is digital. I don't have the physical copy, but I bought the digital version on Google Play Books. How long have I had this book sitting in my cloud? Maybe, gosh, yeah, I'm gonna take the longer way to walk because get more exercise this way. But yeah, I want to say I had this digital book for a couple years now. It's been guaranteed longer than 3 years that I've had this book sitting in my cloud. It's been longer than 3 years, so that means I say roughly 5 years I had the book. I don't know when he actually wrote it, but I think I might have had this book sitting in my thread maybe 5-6 years now. But this is the first time that I'm actually rereading the book for like the first time in like 4 years. So this time when I'm reading the book, I'm kind of just getting more of an in-depth understanding of what Chris wrote, trying to actually read the paragraphs and pull out of what I've read, try to pull information out of there rather than just reading, just actually like literally taking those words and pulling information out. Here's the thing, guys. Gosh, my lips are so ashy. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. The Carmex I had on the night before, it rubbed off as I slept through the night. And then when I wiped my face down today, I wiped the rest of it off, but it's giving it this dry look, which I hate. Oh, Lord. This is embarrassing, y'all. Don't laugh at me. Okay. So here's the thing. You got the truth, and then you got Hollywood. Hollywood gave us their version of the truth. Now we're going to talk about the nitty gritty, meaty truth, right? So I'm going to be jumping all over the place. So excuse me for that. Don't expect me to be talking about this and talk about it in chronological order. I'm not going to do that because my brain just don't remember information like that. I'm going to be jumping all over the place, but I will try my best to tie it all together, okay? All right, so let's dig in. Let's dig into this. So Chris, in his book, he said that him and Selena, they had to do a lot of sneaking around to see each other. And they had to do a lot of lying to be able to see one another, to enjoy each other. What on God's green earth? Okay, that's a jet. Now, if y'all heard that loud sound, that's what that was. That was a jet passing through here. And it's no telling what the hell a jet is passing through here for. Like a lot of conspiracy theorists say, they could be spraying crap in the air that we don't even know about. That's probably why they want us to be locked in the fucking house. Anyway, Chris and Selena, they had to do a lot of lying and sneaking around to be together and to spend time together. Now, mind you, they were 19, 20, 21 and 22 years old when this was going on. They were fucking grown ass adults. What the hell would somebody need to be sneaking around for if you grown? Now I'm a jump to something else. This is kind of off topic, but but it's kind of still on topic because it's all relatable. When I was 19, I had just got my first apartment in college, right? It was me, my high school friend, and we decided to team up and roommate together and get an apartment together. And this was cool because this was our first real taste of freedom outside of high school. And we were just happy to be away from our parents and out of their hair. And we was happy we could make our own decisions and have parties. And let me tell you, my roommate, she was something. I ain't gonna tell you what her name is because I don't want to embarrass her, but I'm gonna just say Charity because that's not her real name, but that's what all of her close family and friends call her. I'm not gonna say her government name because then everybody will find out who she is. So I'm gonna just say Charity. Charity, you know what I'm talking about. So if you ever come across this video, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be cracking up because you already know. If you just think back to our college days, girl, you had parties every weekend at our house. You had parties we was partying every weekend, guys. Every weekend. So when you 19, 20 years old, that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be partying. You're going to be living it up. Excuse my dry lips once again. You're going to be partying. You're going to be living it up. You're just going to be doing your thing. I'm pretty sure when Selena and Chris was 19, 20, 21 years old, they was trying to do their thing. Do you hear me? Young adults just trying to have a good time, right? At that time that we was having all these parties going on every weekend, my baby daddy, that's the ghetto way of saying it. Proper way of saying it is my son's father, whatever. Baby daddy, son's father, the father of my child, my son's biological daddy, whatever you want to call it, right? He would come over when we had these parties. He would hang out with me and stuff. And at the time, I was in love, y'all, or at least I thought I was. I was in love with this guy. I was in love, okay? And I thought that, you know, this person was going to be someone I was going to start a family with. I was going to buy property with, just have a really happy life with. I was in love with him. He was my first love, you guys. Now, if my husband ever come across this video and you all butt hurt about it, get over it. We've been married for 14 going on 15 years now is the amount of time we've been married. So this video should not make you jealous in any way if you come across this video. After 14 plus years, or 14 years and some change of being married, this video should not make you jealous. Moving on. He was my first love, you guys. I loved him. I loved him with every ounce of my being. And I honestly thought that we were going to have us a happy family. I was going to finish college, get my first degree. I had plans on buying property. I had plans on continuing to be a musician and travel. These were my plans, you guys. I wanted to be a musician and travel and tour. And I had plans of me and my man traveling and touring because he was also a musician. He played trumpet and I played sax, and neither one of us were like singers or anything like that, but we were both good at, we both had decent enough voices to sing. I mean, we had a little bit of music in our backgrounds growing up as kids, so we had a little bit of singing that we could have done, right? Never can I ever say that I will reach the talent of singing as Selena, but we had a little voice, we had a little something, and then we were instrumentalists. So I had plans on touring and playing music with my man, us buying property, us making money, us having children, us having a perfect life. But unfortunately, when you are young and you don't really know any better and your mind is all over the place, especially boys, you tell a girl you love her and you get her all wrapped up around you, you get her all googly eyed for you and all wet and stuff like that. You get her all into you, and then you find other girls that you like, and then before you know it, you all doing the same thing to another girl. But by the time you get involved with someone else, the first girl you done this to is pregnant. That's me, okay? I'm pregnant. I ain't gonna tell y'all my whole life story because this ain't about me, so I'm gonna get off of that. We'll get into that in another video. I promise I will do a whole nother video about me and my life, because I think what I have to share about my story is interesting. I think a lot of people want to hear it, and a lot of people who have heard my story say I should write a book. I've been dancing around that thought for many years now, but I think it's probably about time that I start and write a book. But anyway, when you that age and you young like that, you gonna want to do your thing. And I think what Selena and Chris was doing was totally normal. Abraham, on the other hand, he was putting his nose where it didn't belong. But at the same time, I could understand, because he was a father trying to protect his daughter. Nothing wrong with that, but I just think he was going overboard. So what the hell does a 19 and a 20-year-old, why do they have to be sneaking around to see each other when they grown? I could understand if Selena was a minor. You understand me? I can understand if she was 16, 15 and she was a minor, right? I can understand that. But you 19, 20, 21 years old, what the fuck do you have to be like? I didn't understand. So anyway, excuse me, allergies. I hope y'all don't see that. I don't know why my allergies choose to act up while I'm in the thick of our conversation. Maybe it's because the area I'm in, I'm allergic to this cedar stuff. Every time I come out here, this happens. So anyway, you grown, you 19, 20, 21, 22 years old, you're grown. You should not have to be sneaking around doing nothing when you are grown. These two lovebirds were sneaking around like they was kids, like they was 15, 14-year-old, 13-year-old kids. That's how they were sneaking around, like they were kids. They were grown. Abraham, you should be ashamed of yourself. I'm not telling you how you should have parented your daughter, but what I am saying is you were being fucking ridiculous. Moving on. Chris also said that Selena, and what I'm talking about, I'm actually going to read paragraphs to you guys to confirm what I'm talking about. Chris also said that Selena came to the hotel where he was at in Corpus, because he had came to Corpus to see her, and he had paid for a room to sleep out there. That way he wouldn't have to do the long drive back to San Antonio. And I know how long the drive can be to San Antonio because it's about 2 hours from Corpus and it's about an hour and a half from where I'm at in Austin. So if you ain't gonna want to do that long drive, the best option is to get your rest and get a room. So that's what Chris did. But he decided to sleep in instead of staying longer and heading back to San Antonio. He decided to sleep in and stay a little longer just to get some rest. And he heard a loud thumping and pounding on the door, like boom, 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 boom. So he's thinking it's room service or whatever, right? He's like, I'll come back later. Check-in is at blah, blah, blah time. And then he kept hearing the pounding, like boom, 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 and it was getting louder and harder, right? So he was like, what the fuck? Like, didn't I just say, come back? So he got up out the bed and he yelled, come back later. And then the pounding persisted, boom, 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 and it got louder and harder, right? So he was like, shit. So he got out the bed, he walked to the door, he looked through the peephole, and it was Selena. And in his mind, he was like, what is Selena doing back here? So he opens the door. Selena not bum rush him, but like she just bum rushed through the door, and she's like, Chris, we got to get married right now. And he's like, he's like in his mind, he's like, I love you and I want to eventually marry you someday. Wait a minute. Look at all that new growth. See what quarantine is doing to us, y'all? This is what quarantine is doing to us. All this new growth coming in. I don't think I don't know what y'all think. I don't know if I should put another relaxer in my hair. I think I might just let it be natural. And I cannot wait to go to the barber shop again to get my hair cut again, because a lot of my hair started growing back. See, this is all natural right here. And I know y'all probably thinking, you got some beautiful hair. Why would, on God's earth, would you want to put a relaxer in it? Well, this part of my hair is the reason. You see how rough it is? It's that part of my hair I like to call the lion. It does its own thing. Hold on, excuse me. It does its own thing and I hate it. So I put relaxers in my hair just to literally control this part of my hair. This is like the roughest part of my head is the front. It's weird. This front of my head is the roughest part and then all the rest of my hair is finer. It's just weird. I have no idea why my hair is like that. My mother is half Puerto Rican. She's either 50% Puerto Rican or she's 25% Puerto Rican. I forget which one she is, but and my father's mother was Creole. So I got all of this mixing going on in my genetics, my genes. And this is what you have. I like to call it an oxymoron. But anyway, off topic. He's like, of course I want to marry you, Selena, but not like this. I want you to be able to have a wedding of your dreams, and I want you to be able to let your father walk you down the aisle and all this jazz, right? And she's like, no, Chris, no. We got to get married right now, because if we don't get married, should I walk through there? Probably not. I'm going to just stay away. People get all butthurt. Be like, we ain't seen you before. Why you walking through here? People like that out here are like that. Anyway, he's like, I want your family to be there. I want your father to walk you down the aisle. I want you to be in a beautiful white dress. He's telling her, like, I don't want to cheat you out of that. Like, I really want you to have that. And she's like, Chris, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And you know him, Chris. You know what he's like. He's not going to accept us. The only way he's going to accept us and move on now is for us to get married right now. And so in his mind, he knew she was right. He knew that what she was saying was correct, because he knew how stubborn Abraham was, or how Abraham could be. And so he finally was like, all right, come on, let's do it. Let's get married. And he said, in this part of the book, he said, as soon as he told Selena that, he could just see all of the stress and all the pressure just leave her body. Like he could just see her just go from being real stiff and stressed out and hysterical to just being fully relaxed, and just like he literally saw her body just change. He literally saw all the stress leave her body as soon as he told her, come on, let's get married. So when he said that very thing right there, I'm like, fuck. For real? Like, was she that stressed out? Was she that scared? Was she that worried? Did her father put her through all that fucking shit and she's fucking grown, dude? She's fucking grown. When I was growing up in foster care, my foster parents were strict. We had to go to church every Sunday. We had to do the Bible study every Tuesday, and we had to go to choir rehearsal every Wednesday. We went to church 3 days a week, every week. We had to wear skirts every time we went to church. We couldn't listen to what they called worldly music. We couldn't listen to pop, R&B, rap. We couldn't listen to that. We could only listen to gospel and church music and sermons. That's what we were allowed to listen to without my foster dad getting butthurt about that. So he was very similar to Selena's father in that sense. He was very overprotective of us girls. And we couldn't do a lot of things. We couldn't get our nails painted. It was just a lot of things we couldn't do because of our religion. My foster parents were very deep in that religion. And my foster mother was more of the parent. She was more lenient, and she kind of, helped us out. She took us to the dance when dad didn't want us to go to the dance. And she would tell dad, oh, we went out to eat, or we went shopping, but really she took us to the dance to have a good time. She did things like that. So it was a nice balance. I mean, don't get me wrong. We grew up in a strict household, Christian household, but my foster mother kind of knew that what it was like to grow up being a girl, and she wanted to support us and letting us be able to have fun. So she was the parent that let us do some things to kind of ease some of the stress off of us growing up in a strict household. So I kind of understood what Selena was going through. Selena couldn't party. Let me tell you this. So Selena could not party. Selena had to tour with her band on the road. She couldn't go out and play with friends. She couldn't go out and hang out with friends. She couldn't go partying. She couldn't do none of that stuff. It was you work, you come home, you be with your family, and that's it. Ain't no partying. Ain't no performing and then you go partying. Ain't no party. Ain't no none of that, right? Selena had always chaperones around her. It was always her parents or her siblings or somebody in the band that was around to chaperone her, to keep an eye on her, to make sure she wasn't doing things that her father didn't approve of. This man was controlling, y'all. I mean, Abraham was controlling. I mean, he controlled every aspect of that girl's life. It's sad when you think about the in-depthness of her story. It's just freaking sad that she had to live like this. It's sad. So there's another part in the book. Chris said that Selena came to his mother's house, and this was right around the time that Chris introduced Selena to his mom and let his mom know that he was dating her, and Selena met Chris's mom and all this stuff. He said one of the times Selena came to hang out at Chris's mom's house with him and his mother, Selena heard an ice cream truck come, and she instantly jumped up and was excited and ran to the ice cream truck and asked Chris if she could get an ice cream. She was like, Chris, can we get the ice cream? Can we go get the ice cream, Chris? She was so excited. This grown ass woman was excited to get a fucking ice cream from the ice cream truck. And right in that part of the book, Chris was saying, you know, this moment in the story he was telling was a huge reminder of the fact that, you know, Selena, I'll turn back around because I don't want to walk all the way around there like my husband does. This moment in the story reminded him of the fact that Selena never really got to enjoy her childhood, never really got a chance to be a normal, regular kid. That was taken from her. Not by her mother, not by her family, but by her father. Now, when I say this, I'm not against Abraham. I'm just against the things that he did to this poor woman when she was alive. I don't like how he treated Selena. I don't like it. As a diehard Selena fan who truly loved this individual, this soul, I don't like how he treated her. I don't like it. And I'm going to say that. Abraham, I don't like how you treated her, father or not. I don't like it. That shit is fucking wrong. It's wrong. Right is right and wrong is wrong, right, you guys? So I'm speaking it out. I'm just saying I don't care. I don't care. I'm not afraid to say it. I don't like that shit. I don't like it. Anyway, Chris said it just reminded him of how much Selena had to give up, how much she had to sacrifice to become what she was and to become what she is today. Selena sacrificed her entire childhood. She sacrificed having the life of a child to become the star that she became and to become what she is today. Let me tell y'all something about fame and stardom and money. It don't come easy. It does take a lot of hard work to put in to get to that point. You don't just become a star overnight. Now, there has been some people that have become a star overnight, but it don't happen to everybody. The majority of people got to put in a lot of hard work and years to get to that point, okay? Selena was one of them. She had to put in a lot of hard work and a lot of years to get to that point, to get to this point. She's now a fucking icon. But for her to get to being where her name is today, she had to sacrifice a lot, you guys. Selena's life was not ice cream and peaches. It was not glamorous. Let me tell you something. The movie lied to us, you guys. Hollywood lied to us, just like they always do. Hollywood gave us their version of the story. This is the truth of the story. This is the true nitty gritty stuff I'm pulling out the book about the story. This is the truth. Stuff that Hollywood left out. The wind keep blowing my hood back, so that's why I keep fixing it. I don't like that. Anyway, she had to give up a lot, you guys, and her life was rough. Her life was not easy. Her father controlled every aspect of her life. She never really had many or much freedoms. She was always surrounded by family members or friends of the family or band members. She never really had a normal life. She never really had freedom, and she never really had say so or much say so in anything that she did regarding her singing career. It was always about what her father wanted. Now check this out. I'm going to add to what I just said. Chris also said in his book that Abraham the third, AB wanted to be a rock star. But he had to sacrifice being a rock star and give that up because his father, Abraham, suggested that he play Tejano music. So not only did Selena give up her dreams and her aspirations and things she really wanted to do in life, so did her brother AB. He had to give up what he wanted. And this explains why Chris and AB hit it off so well and clicked so well, because they had the same interests. They had the same love. They both wanted to be rock stars. Now I'm going to add to what I said on top of that. Check this out. Chris said before he joined Los Dinos, he also had dreams and aspirations of being a rock star. So that's something that him and AB shared. That's why him and AB got along so well. So not only did AB give up his dreams of being a rock star to be in this family band, so did Chris. Chris gave up his dreams of being a rock star to be in the Los Dinos band. AB saw talent. AB saw whatever he saw in Chris. He asked Chris to join the band. Chris agreed after he got blessing from his band and his crew. And the rest is history, right? So, a lot of people in that band probably gave up a whole lot to make Abraham's dreams come true. This was not Selena's dream. This was not AB's dream. This was Abraham's dream, their father. Now, I heard something else on the internet. I don't know if this is true, but I watched another fellow YouTuber's video, and in the video she said that someone told her that they had went to a venue, Chris and Selena, not Chris and Selena, but Selena and her father. They went to some kind of event, some kind of venue, and Selena did or said something that Abraham didn't like, and he hit her. Now this happened when she was a grown-ass adult, not a child, not a minor, a fucking adult. She was in her early 20s when this happened. So if she was in her early 20s when this happened, that means she was married to Chris by this time. She said something or did something that Abraham didn't like, and he hit her. And it was said that people at the venue saw what happened, but they didn't speak up and say nothing because they was afraid. But didn't no one else see anything but the people at the venue. I'm going to stop walking because I need to be able to speak, and I'm getting out of breath slightly. But if it were me that saw that shit, I would have spoke out. I'm just sorry. I would have said something. That shit ain't cool. She's a grown-ass fucking woman. What the fuck are you hitting on her for saying something or doing something that you don't like? She's grown. She could do and say whatever the fuck she want to say. She's grown. She's not a 6-year-old child. She's not a 13-year-old kid. She's not 15. She's a child. She is a grown-up adult, a woman. When I became an adult, the relationship I had with my foster dad and my foster mom was still on the lines of them treating me like a child, but not in that kind of way. They wouldn't hit me as a grown woman. No. They didn't put hands on me. My biological dad always respected me as a person, as an individual, and he always told me the truth. So my biological father never treated me like I was a child, which I think, in some people's opinion, that's the wrong way to be a parent, and that could explain why he didn't raise me. He was not parent material. My father always respected me as an individual and never treated me less than. And when I became an adult, that intensified. My father always treated me and respected me as a woman. He never treated me like a child. When your kids are grown, they're grown. You don't have the right to put hands on them. I don't care if you're their mother and father or not. You don't have the right to put hands on nobody when they are grown. If I was Selena, I would have hit his ass back, straight up. I'm just speaking the real. I'm not finna sugarcoat nothing and say on here, oh, Selena was right. She didn't hit him and she was right for not hitting him back. Nah, I would have hit his ass back. But I can understand that's her father and she wanted to respect him in the most utmost way, right? Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with respecting your parents, people, because I'm a person that's all about honoring and respecting your parents. I did a video on this. Watch it. It's actually it's going to be under Kobe Bryant's parents, Pam and Joe Bryant. Just search down my video list and you'll find it. It's there. On mobile, they kind of cut it off after a certain number of videos, so you might not see it on mobile, but get on desktop, you'll find it. Just look up Kobe Bryant's parents or something like that. It's under that. But I did a whole video about honor and respecting parents, so I'm all about that. So I'm not saying that Selena should not have respected her father. I'm actually all for that. But there is a time and place for everything, and it's all about principle of the matter. She was a grown-up adult and he didn't have no right to put hands on her. Now, if she was a child, that's one thing. If she was 6 or 10 or 15 or 12 and did and said something that was inappropriate and he didn't like, then he had a right by all means to hit her, to put her in her place or to discipline her, right? But she was a grown woman by then. Oh no, the wind just is not blowing things in my favor today. Here's a motorcyclist. But yeah, what else did I read in the book for like the third time? This is probably like my third time reading this book in like 6 years. I can't think of anything else right on the spot right now, but I will add more to my video later. But one thing I will say about Selena and Chris's relationship is I think Selena was very smart about what she did and how she did it. She married Chris to get her father out of the equation. She married Chris to stop her father from trying to stop her from seeing him. And she married Chris to protect their bond and their love and their union, because Selena knew that if she didn't marry Chris the way that she did, her father would have went to great lengths to end the relationship and to ruin the relationship. So she, in her mind, knew the only way to protect her relationship with Chris was to marry him. And she also knew that if she married Chris, there was nothing that Abraham could no longer do about it, because she was married. Once you marry somebody, that's it. It's you and them. Your parents legally don't have no rights to do nothing. So Selena was smart. She was smart in making that move. That was a smart, calculated move on Selena's part. And credit to her for that. Big ups to her for that. I wish she was here to hear me say this. And I wish she was here to see this video. That was smart on your part, Selena. So credit to you for that. But the type of parent that Abraham was to her, he made her this way. He made her have to think in this type of way and act in this type of way, sneaking around and rushing to marry when she didn't have to. And he brought this upon her. He forced her into this situation. He backed her into a corner. She had to fight for her relationship, and she had to fight for what she wanted. And she did that. Selena did that. And she a few times stood up to her father defending Chris because he was yelling and cursing and things of that nature. I believe that if Selena was here right now, there would be no way in hell that the family would be treating him the way that they are treating him now if Selena was here, because the information I got from a fellow YouTuber and the information I got from ET News online on YouTube, There was a clip on the ET video on YouTube that said that Chris is estranged from the family. So they were surprised and shocked to see Chris at the premiere when Selena got her Hollywood star on the ground. They said that they were surprised and shocked to see Chris there because he was estranged from the family ever since Selena died. He had become estranged with the family shortly after Selena's death. So when they said that, it just connected the dots to my fellow YouTuber and what she said about Chris's family treating him wrong and trying to shut him out on important events and things regarding Selena's legacy. It's just not right. Like, I just don't understand what Chris did to deserve to be treated this way. And I must speak out and say it to the Quintanilla family. Y'all are wrong and y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. And I honestly believe Selena's mother is the only one that has any kind of compassion for Chris, honestly. I think Selena's mother, Marcella, always liked Chris. And I think she always had compassion for him as a son-in-law. And I think she always approved of Chris and his and Selena's relationship. And I think AB and Chris were always cool until after Selena passed away. But I don't know what happened with AB and Chris for AB and Chris to be estranged. I just don't understand what happened there. But I think Suzette was jealous. I do believe she was jealous because I read a part in the book that supported what my fellow YouTuber said. And I read the part in the book that supported that. The part in the book where Suzette walked in on Chris and Selena, they were talking. They weren't holding hands. They weren't kissing. They weren't doing nothing. They were just sitting on separate beds across from one another and just talking. And Suzette walked in on them talking. And I guess she didn't like seeing them connect the way they were connecting. She didn't like seeing them talk to each other. So that irritated her. So she left the bus, slammed the door and told Abraham, which I didn't understand what she got out of that. Why did she out Selena and Chris's relationship to Abraham? That shit was fucking like cruel and mean and vindictive. That shit was like hella that shit was just hella wrong. That shit is hella cruel and mean and vindictive. Anyway, that part of the story right there just proves to me that Suzette was jealous and that Suzette did have a crush on Chris because Chris wrote in his book that there were many times that him and Suzette hung out just as friends. He never saw her past being friends. He never saw her anything more than being friends. And her jokes were always funny, he said, and they were always laugh and joke and talk together as friends, just as cool friends and as a band member. But he never really saw Suzette in that kind of a way. And I think when Suzette got riff of the fact that Chris didn't see her in that kind of a way, I think that bothered her. It bothered her to see her little sister be with somebody that she liked. And I think in the beginning it was envy and then it later turned into jealousy. I think Suzette was jealous of Chris being with Selena instead of her. I think what Suzette really wanted was for Chris to be with her. And when she saw Chris with Selena instead, it bothered her. I think it just festered over time and then it turned into what it turned into. And that's what made her want to out Chris's and Selena's relationship to Abraham. I think just out of jealousy. To this very day, I don't know what the hell the true reason is, but that's just my opinion and speculation as to why. But I could be wrong. We all could be wrong about our opinions, but when you take somebody's words and you read in between the lines, the truth is there. I mean, you can see it in the words. It's in the book, man. Just read it. And then when you read it, read between the lines. Suzette was jealous of her sister. Now, did Suzette, I heard this crazy ass shit that Suzette may have been involved in Selena's murder. I don't believe that. I don't believe she was that jealous of her sister that she would have her sister killed or that she would be involved in any way of trying to harm her sister. I just don't believe that shit. I believe she was jealous. I believe she was envious, but I don't believe she wanted to hurt her sister and I don't believe she wanted her dead. I don't believe that shit. My sister and I, to this very day, when we were kids, we argued and fought all the fucking time. And as adults, we don't get along. We just don't. But there's never a time in hell do I ever wish death on my sister or want her hurt or anything. Fighting or not, getting along or not, I love my sister to fucking death, dude. I would never wish death on my sister, or I would never wish harm on my sister. So I just don't believe that Suzette was involved in her sister's murder. I don't believe Suzette conspired to have her sister killed. I don't believe Suzette was that jealous of her sister that she would do that. I believe she was that jealous that she outed Chris and Selena's relationship. I believe she was that jealous because she wanted Chris to be with her instead. I believe she was that jealous that she outed them, but I don't see Suzette bringing harm to her sister. I don't see Suzette participating in having Selena killed either. I just don't see that. Now, here's another theory that Abraham may have had Yolanda set up. I believe that. You know why I believe that shit? How you doing? Because Abraham is that type of person that if things is not going his way, he will go to great lengths to make sure that things turn out in his favor. You see what he did to his kids. He forced them to play Tejano music and they didn't want to. He took away AB's dream of being a rock star. He took away Selena's dream of getting deeply into fashion. I mean, she stepped her foot into it and she barely was able to get it to take off because she passed away, unfortunately. She barely had time for that to even really take off, really. And Chris gave up his dreams of being a rock star just to be a part of the Los Dinos band. So if he'll make his kids give up his dreams to pursue his own personal vendettas and his own dreams, then I'm pretty sure that it's the same way when he tried to keep Chris and Selena apart. He went through great lengths to do that. So he'll go through great lengths to have Yolanda set up. He'll go through great lengths to make Yolanda look bad if he didn't like her. And if he didn't want his daughter hanging out with Yolanda and he didn't approve of his relationship, Selena's relationship with Yolanda, I'm pretty sure he would have went to great lengths to destroy that relationship, just like he tried to destroy Selena's relationship with Chris. You see the pattern? He was a control freak. He was a psychotic, psycho control freak. He wanted everything his way or the fucking highway. Abraham is that. Now, I do believe that there's a strong possibility he could have had Yolanda set up. Now, am I saying Yolanda is innocent? Hell no. She's guilty as guilty. Am I saying I'm on Yolanda's side? Nope. I'm happy that her ass is rotting in jail where she belongs. Am I justifying what Yolanda did? No. I believe Yolanda pulled the trigger. She should pay the price for what happened. But do I believe Abraham drove her to that point of pulling the trigger? Absolutely. Abraham didn't like her. She didn't like him. He was always yelling at Yolanda and things like that. He had yelling matches with Yolanda just like he had yelling matches with Chris. He did not want his daughter having no relationship with that woman. He didn't want them two getting too close because he felt like that was a threat to Selena quitting music and Selena moving on to fashion. And so if Selena did that, that was a threat to his meal ticket. Do you understand? Selena was his meal ticket. So if there was anything that was going to stop Selena from doing music, he was totally going to be against it, and he was going to find every means necessary to end whatever relationship Selena had with whomever that he felt like was going to end Selena's singing career. So it wasn't only about him protecting his daughter, but it was also about his meal ticket, his money, his paycheck, his coins. You understand me? That man was obsessed with his money. He wanted his money. Selena was his money. If Selena wasn't singing, if Selena wasn't doing the music thing, that was going to be a threat to his paycheck. And he wasn't having that shit. He wasn't having it. So absolutely, I believe that there's a strong possibility that Abraham had Yolanda set up. Absolutely. I believe that is a strong possibility. And if this is the truth, if he really did do this, it was a smart, calculated move on his part because he's not in jail. He ain't serving no jail time. And Yolanda is rotting in jail. His daughter is gone, unfortunately. And the rest is history, right? What am I saying? And what is my point in this whole entire video is that Selena had a rough life She sacrificed her childhood. It was never easy for her. It was never glamorous. It was never glitzy. Her life was hard. Her life was struggle. Her life was hard work. In my opinion, and I think this is a harsh way of me saying this, but I think Selena was Abraham's slave. All the hard work she put into the singing and the band, I believe that Selena was Abraham's slave. Now get this. I hear a lot of this going on in the air and rumors, but I believe this part of the rumors to be true, that Selena would be the front runner and was the one that making all the money for everybody, right? The money came to Abraham, not to Selena. Since Abraham was her manager, all the money went to him and he distributed the money. He decided where the money went because the money went to him. He splitted up the money with the band members and he decided who got what. He splitted the money between the band members, himself, I'm sure probably his wife maybe, if his wife ever got anything, and Selena, right? And so he gave everybody their portion. But when it came to Selena's portion, Selena got the least amount of money out of everybody in the band. Now, I don't know if that's true. I'm not going to go ahead and say that is actually true. I don't know if that's true, but that's what a lot of people are saying. And based on Abraham's history, past, and behavior, and what he's known to have done to Selena and Chris and everyone around him and in that tight circle, I believe that's very true. I believe that's very possible that Abraham could have splitted all this money and gave his daughter the least amount of money. And I'm pretty sure that he took the biggest chunk of money as the manager and he split the rest of the money up and he gave Selena the least amount of money. I believe that's possible. She doing all the singing. She doing all the sweat and all the dancing and singing, and she making all this money, but she get the least amount of money. That's fucked up. If this is true, that shit is fucked up. I believe Selena was Abraham's slave, and that's just my opinion. I'm not going to be sorry about my opinion for one simple reason, and this is simply about principle. Selena deserved way more than what she got in her life. She deserved to have been treated way better than the way she was treated in her life. She deserved more. And that's just what it is. I don't want to apologize for my opinion. I don't apologize for it. A fan who really truly loves Selena will get on here and speak the truth. You know why? Because the truth will set you free. And there's nothing better than the truth, even if it hurts. Now, Hollywood gave their version of the story. This is our harsh truth of the story. Read Chris's book, To Selena with Love. Read it. Thoroughly read it. Read it over and over and over again. I'm trying to pick this lint off my sweatshirt. Y'all can see Elos Dino's sweatshirt. Big Bertha, y'all see that? True Selena fan. That's how you know I'm a Selena fan. I'm wearing a Big Bertha sweatshirt. It says Selena Elos Dinos. I'm talking about Selena. I live in the same state Selena lived in. Did I move here because Selena lived here? A tiny portion was the reason, but my biggest portion of moving here to Texas was because of cost of living. Where I'm originally from, the cost of living is through the roof. And if I had stayed back at home in the Bay Area, I would have been a homeless person living on the street. I would have been a part of that homeless community, and I just refused to lay down and die. I have so much will to live. It's no way in hell I would have stayed back at home in California and just allowed California's cost of living to kill me and make me homeless. So I moved to a state that I thought whose culture and way of life was similar to California. And I tried to pick a city that I feel like wasn't the total country because I'm a city girl, and that was Austin. Austin hit off all checkpoints for me. Off the subject, but anyway, I'm a true Selena fan, as you can see. This is in no way to ruin Selena's legacy, what she stood for, none of that. This was just truly me hitting on points that I felt like was not spoken enough about when Selena was alive. I believe that Selena deserved more justice than what she got. The only justice Selena got was Yolanda was arrested for killing her, but that was it. There was no justice done for Selena to Abraham and what he did to her. Because a lot of parents do this to their children. They get away with making their children slaves because they're their parents. That's the only thing that allow people to abuse their children or can get away with abusing their kids is the fact that they are legally their authority figure and they legally have control and charge over them. So the parents can just do whatever. I hear so many stories about people abusing their children and children getting abused by their parents. And right now, I'm pretty sure it's a high number going on right now with that because of the quarantine and children are not able to go to school and get their meals that depend on their meals from school, and children can't go and get their fresh air and run around and get exercise, things like that, that they depend on from school. Children are not getting that right now because of this quarantine and shelter put in place. But it's going on all around the world, all around this country. People are abusing their children, and people don't have the right to abuse their kids just because they are the authority figure. It's just not right. And Abraham, it wasn't right what you did to your daughter. You were abusive to her, mentally, emotionally, and psychologically abusive to her. And I don't approve of it. It was wrong. You were wrong. Selena deserved way more love than what she got from you. She deserved way more money than what she got from you, if this is true. And she deserved more appreciation than what you gave her. And I'm not going to say that you didn't hurt about your daughter dying, because I'm sure you probably did. I've seen you cry maybe one time in the media, that's it. And maybe you shutting that off because you didn't want the media to know your personal life. But in my personal opinion, you didn't grieve enough for your child. Who would in a right mind make a movie about their child a week after their child is dead or a month after their child is dead? That don't even make any sense. That's some sick shit. All right, I'm done with this video because if I keep it longer, I'm pretty sure y'all will get bored with it and won't want to watch it anymore. But that is one of the harsh truths of Selena's story. You got Hollywood and you got the truth. Read Chris's book, To Selena with Love, and read it with in-depth clarity. Read it with investigative eyes, and read it with the mindset of, okay, I'm looking for information and clues. All right. I see y'all in the next video. Peace. Later. Oh, and one last thing. Do you be yourself? Get yourself together. And no robot behaviors over here. See y'all in the next video. Peace. Later.